What's up, everybody? Today we're back with auto and stuff. So we're doing the oil change on the 5.7 liter V8. This is the TA model. It applies for any TA or RT with the 5.7 liter. Alright, so what you're going to need is a 13mm socket for the oil drain plug bolt, and then you're going to need the 10mm for the undercarriage. It's just a plastic covering on the bottom. We do have the Mopar oil filter, and the part number is going to be MO339. I'll go ahead and put links in the description where you can go ahead and get this. And then also we got the 5W20 full synthetic. We got the 7 quarts of the oil that you're going to need. So make sure when you go and get the oil, make sure you get 7 quarts. And then definitely I would definitely recommend getting the Mopar oil filter, because you are putting stuff in that's OEM. You obviously don't want to put like some random aftermarket stuff in. So let's go ahead and get on with the video. Okay, so for the oil change, you do have an option of using either the jack, or you could go ahead and use the ramps. I prefer using the jack. It makes it a lot easier. Then I just use the roller or the creeper to go underneath the car. Makes the whole thing a lot easier. Alright, so you do have the jack point right here. Let's look under here where this little indent slot is. Let's go ahead and line the jack up here. Make sure you're lined up. Do some adjustment. Alright, then it can sit right there. The plastic piece is gonna curl in a little bit, that's fine. This is just the jack point right there. It's the easiest one to get to, just for the oil change that I like to use. So then we're just gonna jack up the car. And also make sure you go ahead and put your parking brake on. Step down right here. Obviously you don't want the car rolling away. Alright, so just make sure you have your jack stand in place right after that, because you don't want the car falling on you. And then we're gonna go ahead and do the oil change now. Then you're going to go up under the car. You do have 4 bolts. You have one here, one here, you have one here, and one here. You go ahead and take those off. Bottom of it is scraped up a little bit. It's obviously from the previous owner. So I'm going to start taking these off. And these are 10mm bolts. I'm just going to put them off to the side so you don't lose them. We got the second one here. If you have one of these little magnet bolts, this will be even a lot better. Keep track of all the bolts so you don't lose anything. And then we're going to go down and take these back ones off. One more on this side. Yeah, so it's just 4 bolts on here. Once you get them off, you should be able to just pull the cover forward and it'll come off. Make sure when you put it back on that it's facing the correct direction. It does have arrows on it to basically pretty much show you where it's supposed to be lined up. So then we're going to slide this out. So what you do is you just, once it's loosened out, you just pull out on it and it'll just slide out of place. So then you just go ahead and move it out of the way. And then under here, obviously you have the drain bolt, and then you got the oil filter. Right then, what you want to do, you want to get your oil drain pan bucket. It could be a bucket or anything you have laying around. And then we're going to go ahead and pull that drain plug off. You could use a breaker bar if you do have issues with getting the bolt off. It's going to be a lot easier. And then you want to go ahead and take the 13mm socket, go ahead and get like a breaker bar, because it might be tightened down at first depending on where we had it done at previously. Because usually oil change shops, they do tighten down the bolts a lot, they do use impact wrenches. So then you want to go ahead and grab the breaker bar, just turn up on it to loosen it. And then once you start getting it loosened up, you will be able to just hand loosen it. Right here. Then just have your drain pan ready. then just start loosening by hand once you get enough to be loosened out. Alright, then you got the oil coming out. You just want to go take the drain plug and just hold onto it. Don't let it fall into your drain pan, because you are going to end up losing it and you're going to have to go find it after draining the oil. So now we're just waiting for it to drain out. Once it does that, we're going to go ahead and pull the, you got the oil filter off, and then we're going to go from there. Two types of oil filter wrenches. You could go ahead and use this one, or if you're having trouble with it, or if it's a bad angle, you might want to go ahead and use this one. Different types of cars. I know my brother's Mustang, he likes to use this one. Makes it a lot easier. And some people like to use this one just because they want to rip the filter off, and obviously if it's like seized up on there. And then when you do go ahead and put the oil filter on, once we go ahead and take the oil filter off in a second, you want to go ahead and put oil on this gasket, because then when you go ahead and do the oil change next time, then you're not going to have an issue with it like seizing up or not being able to take it off. Alright, and then you're going to go ahead and take the oil filter wrench, put it up on the oil filter, then just go ahead and turn it off. So want to make sure you have it angled on there correctly, or there's a limited space on here. And then just go ahead and pull up on it and turn it, and then until you can get it loosened off. Just hand loosen it off. And then just make sure you have this oil drain pan here. Make sure you catch the oil. Then go ahead and start loosening this by hand once you get it off most of the way. Go ahead and pull that drain pan under. Just let it sit, just let it drain for a second, because if you go and pull it off, the oil is going to pour out on you. It could be kind of annoying in the position of this filter. On the V6 models of these Challengers, you have the filter on top, so it's obviously a lot easier to get to. On the 5.7s, they're going to be right here, so you're going to find the filter. And then just start twisting it off. I'm just going to go ahead and just sit this inside the oil drain pan, because I don't want to touch it right now. Just going to leave it over there, because otherwise you're going to get covered in oil by the end of this. Then I got oil leaking down all sides right now. And then we're going to let that drain, and then we're going to go ahead and put the new oil filter on. Then we'll be good to go. And then we're going to put the drain plug on. And you're going to grab the oil filter, go ahead and put some oil on the gasket here. Just put it around the outside of the gasket. It's for next time when you go to take it back off, so you don't have any issues. So then we're going to go ahead and put the oil filter on now. All right, so now we're done with that part. So now you want to just go ahead and put the new filter on. And then just go ahead and tighten down that drain bolt. It's going to be 25 foot-pounds of torque. Alright, so then you want to go ahead and put the 7 quarts of oil. Just go ahead and get a filter, or a funnel I mean. This one is normally for a coolant, but either one is fine. Just go ahead and put the oil cap back on, and then make sure you go ahead and dispose of your oil properly. You can take it to AutoZone. Usually if you just keep the new bottles that you just empty into the engine, just keep those and just put the old oil in it with like a funnel. So then you're going to have to go reset your oil light. Just put the car in the run position. So click it twice, but don't hold down the brake. And then just wait here to go into the settings. I believe it's in here, so we'll scroll through. Oil life, and then you want to hold down the OK button right here. Just hold it down until it says 100%. Then wait a second, it says hold to OK to reset. Okay, now it's reset. And then we'll go ahead and try to start it. And now it's reset. So that's how you reset the oil light. Go ahead and like, share, subscribe this video, and thank you so much for watching.